Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I am here with James Deighan with Highline Sports and Entertainment, and we're going to talk about wrapping up the whole Oktoberfest that's happening here in the Valley. Probably the most epic Oktoberfest, I would imagine, James.
I would agree. Vail Village is sort of the pinnacle of the month-long celebration here in Vail that we call Oktoberfest. A lot of people ask, it's an old school question that a lot of people ask, why is Oktoberfest in September? And the origins, of course, are from 1812 back in Germany. The King of Germany had a celebration for his daughter's wedding. It started in September. It was a 2.5-week celebration with a culmination in early October. Hence the name Oktoberfest.
A little history there.
Yeah, we have been producing this event for, I think, almost 20 years. Here in the Vail Valley, we had Lions Head last weekend, spectacular weather for everybody, and it really showed how important these events are to our valley, not just on a local level, but regional and national as well. Every year we see less and less locals at the Lions Head event and more locals at the Vail event. But I think with the onset of COVID over the last 18 months, people are ramped up to get out there and make these events as successful as ever. And it proved to be just that last weekend in Lions Head, that's for sure.
Right. We talk about a lot on the show, the community and how the community always comes together to celebrate different things. This is no different, and you've been doing it for 20 years. Yeah. I bet the event has evolved, if you kind of want to tell and expand about how it's grown and evolved over the years.
You bet. It most certainly has. Early 2000s, the town of Vail came to us. This event has been going on in Vail for, I think, around 50 years, to be honest with you, and several different iterations of it back in the day with our rich Bavarian history here in Vail. Mm-hmm. And they came to us. The event had sort of fallen a little bit, and they didn't really have a producer. We came on the scene about 5 years prior with our event company, Highline Sports and Entertainment. We took over Oktoberfest at that time, and it took us a few years to really get our footing properly. Lions Head has had several different locations given all the construction, so has Vail Village for that matter, with all the street repaving and the onset of Arabelle construction coming into play and everything. So it's gotten a lot bigger. We've refined it. We have spectacular beer partners in Spaten every year. Spaten is one of the original 6 beers from Munich Oktoberfest, from the original 1812 Munich Oktoberfest, so we're very happy to have them on board. We sold more beer last weekend in Lions Head than we've ever sold in a single weekend at Oktoberfest, and we anticipate this weekend to be even bigger and better.
Yeah, we're looking at a lot of the traffic coming in from Denver, and Maddie just went over the weather, and it's still going to be pretty warm in Denver, but we've still got the people escaping the hot areas, coming into the mountains to enjoy everything that we have to offer here. And I bet it's probably going to be a record-setting weekend for some beer sales and some people in the village.
I'd be surprised if it weren't, that's for sure. It's funny, you mentioned Denver and the Front Range coming up. Obviously, if you live here and you're visiting here right now, you're noticing the aspens starting to change and that beautiful fall gold color coming into play, and it's incredible out here for sure. But what we have noticed and what we do notice over the years is several people from all over the country coming in for this event. And year after year after year, I sort of roam the streets during these events and talk to different people from various locations, and they have made it a destination for their fall plans every year. So we had Gourmet and Gore over Labor Day weekend, Oktoberfest last week in Lions Head, Oktoberfest this week in Vail Village. People are coming in from all over the country and filling our town and celebrating what Vail has to offer, and what I think, being here 32 years, is by far the best month of the year.
Yeah. So the event, you've done an amazing job keeping it authentic, doing certain things. You come in, you've got your shirt on, the hat with the pins. Is there a history or is there a story behind the pins?
There is. I have been to Munich Oktoberfest probably a half a dozen times, also other Oktoberfests and beer festivals, anywhere from Stuttgart to Lech, Austria, to even England, where they have a beer festival there. And from Neuschwanstein to St. Anton, different pins from different beer festivals and Oktoberfest. But we do try to keep it very authentic. At the same time, we've created a lot of various twists that Highline came up with and created, like keg bowling, right, the Stein lifting competition. Obviously, Helmut Fricker at 85 years old is still out there blowing his Alpenhorn, and doing the chicken dance and the line dances
Yeah.
and everything else. So we really have a great time with our bratwurst eating contest and everything else that comes into play.
Perfect. Well, if you haven't been, if you're out of town and you're coming in town, this is an event that you cannot miss. It's the pinnacle, I think, of the season before we roll into winter. And James, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Getting everybody even more excited about
Yep.
the finale to Oktoberfest. I know I'll be there as both a participant and a spectator.
Good.
To try out, but you guys are doing a great job, and
Thanks.
we appreciate it. So
Thank you very much. We look forward to
thank
having you.
All right. We'll be back soon with more Good Morning Vail.